Hello, it's tea time. So, based on the conversation I had earlier today, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of tea as I sip on some tea. Now, approximately 12 or so years ago, let's see, 16 years ago. 16 years ago, of course, that's when someone was asking me about Obama. I told you this before, and I said, yeah, Obama will become president, but then we're going to have twice as long as the time that he was in office of things happening. And so he was in office for 8 years, so that means 16 years. So now we've come to the conclusion of the first 8 years, so that means 8 years after this. Now, I mentioned that the people who got in power were going to try to reverse a lot of things, right? We've already seen them reversing things, Roe versus Wade, but it's not going to stop. So now we see companies such as Walmart rolling back DEI, and we have more things coming. We see people saying that they're going to get rid of birthright citizenship and all kinds of things, right? And this is going to happen. All these different things are going to come to the light, as I said they would. And then we're going to have a time where some of this stuff turns around. Not all of it. But I remember saying that what was going to happen was that they wanted to take us back to times which were more like slavery times. A lot more segregation, a lot more people having an inability to do things and make decisions and count as human beings. Now, they're not going to be able to do that completely. But what they will do is make rules and make rules to where it's a lot easier for them to arrest people. And then they have slavery in the form of prisons, right? So once they get the people in the prison system, then they'll be able to use them in their slavery methods, right? So that is happening. It's been in the works, but it's going to become more prevalent, more out in your face, right? So that's where things are going. So for those of you who like predictions that actually come to reality, save this video. So then some people say, well, why now? Why now? What's happening? Well, you reap what you sow. So our country is reaping, allowing people who were not good people be in leadership, and people who were selfish be in leadership. And those people who, as I say, you follow the bodies, there's bodies beneath them getting into leadership, will do whatever it takes for them to remain in power. So they're looking at doing things like tariffs, right? And tariffs will make it harder for the people who actually live in the country to buy food, to buy whatever it is that you're getting from other places. And we have to understand that China basically owns the US, right? China makes even parts for our medical equipment, medical supplies. I mean, really, not even just cars and food. I mean, transplant parts, right? So your ability to actually have transplants done in the US is going to be impacted, and the cost is going to go up. And the hospitals aren't going to eat that cost. That cost is going to be passed on to you, the consumer. Tea time. We even get some of our drugged medications from China. Now, I'm not opposed to anyone voting for a person because they think that's the right candidate. And I've had different people tell me they voted for this person because they thought the person was more qualified than the other person. It's your choice. But every choice has consequences. For every action, there's a reaction. And understand that our different choices that we make put us in these situations, these circumstances. So if you don't vote, or you vote for someone who tells you flat out what they're going to do and then they do it, that's what you get. That person told you that. But this brings us to the point of how much of this is destiny? Because if I'm able to predict this 16 years ahead of when it happens, how much of it is destiny? How much of it is, no matter what, it's going to happen? Man, this tea is really good. And this is my tea. I love being able to make my tea. So, speaking to how much is going to happen based on destiny versus how much is happening as a result of the choices that we've made. The choices that you make as individuals and as a country and as a world have in a lot of ways been predestined. As individuals, we have the ability to turn left and turn right instead of go straight. We also have the ability to change outcomes with each choice. There's threads in the universe. And so there's a thread tied to whatever choice you make. So there's a thread that if you go left, if you go right, if you go in the middle, if you turn back around, there's a thread. And so the world changes based on the choice. Collectively in the United States, we have been making choices that have led us to this point. So we have to reap what we sow. We have gone to other countries. We have destroyed other countries. We have plundered other countries. We have SA'd people in other countries. We have taken out, eliminated, separated the soul from the bodies in other countries without cause. We have done that in our country. So we're getting ready to see a time where there's other countries who are going to feel like they can do that to us. Right? There's other countries who are going to feel like, we can go and do some things and make it look like you guys did it to yourselves. Okay? So those are some things. Now, yours truly here boycotted Walmart and have not been to Walmart since October. And I stopped going there, and I even drove out of my way today to not go there. Drove past it. As a matter of fact, I almost drove past two in order to not go there. And some people say they did that because Walmart supported Trump. Okay. Businesses support candidates all the time that I don't vote for or that I do vote for. That's not enough of a reason for me to be like, But when a company as large as Walmart, that has one of the largest employee base in the United States, and their employee base is made up of poor, minorities, and then you roll back something that supports poor minorities, you're saying you don't care about them. Now, just because I might not necessarily fall into the poverty category doesn't mean that I can't support things that help people who fall into that category. But diversity also means women, Black people, Native American, any other ethnicity other than white, male, straight. Okay? So just because I'm not gay doesn't mean that I can't support people having a right to exist. Because to me, allowing people to exist allows more peace to be out there. So I don't care what a person is or what they do. It doesn't matter to me. I only am concerned with what I do. But as a whole, the only thing that I have in order to say to Walmart, I don't agree with what you've done, is to not give them my money. A lot of things in the United States revolve around money. So if you don't like a company and what they're doing, don't give them your money. And it doesn't matter if it's someone that I shop at. That's a choice that you can make. And you can then say, you know what, if there's a restaurant that you go to often and the restaurant serves horrible food or food you get food poisoning from the restaurant, do you keep going back? I don't. So let's give you the other stuff that's we want to talk about. The aliens in the ocean. Now, there's been aliens around for ever, basically. And we even have a lot of gods and myths that are based off of aliens, meaning unknown races of people. And now they want to tell us about the aliens that are in the ocean. And that is because there's exploration going on that they would like to do in the ocean. And they would like to discover some things that they think can be incredibly powerful in the ocean. So you have to have the spin on, well, there's aliens in the ocean. So when we get ready to try to go and do more damage in the ocean, digging, exploring, and you see a lot more people trying to go do these explorations under the guise of aliens in the ocean. But there's more than aliens in the ocean. There's wealth in the ocean. And there's a lot of untapped resources in the ocean. And that's really what the powers that be are after. So you're going to be seeing more discoveries of things in the ocean, including ancient cities, more medicines, more plants and tools, more people who can actually live underwater for extended periods of time. You're going to see more of that come to fact. You're going to find more lost areas being discovered and dug up in the ocean and other places, more cities, more gold, more oil, more things that are going to make people rich. You're going to see more of that. That's happening, right? And then you're going to see, and I've said it before for somebody, more of the Rosie the robot kind of things come up. They're going to have more robotic things become more affordable, put in houses. Now, part of that is going to be spyware. Not that we don't already have enough spyware, but it's going to be spyware that also has the power to take over your house, right? A lot of people have all of their stuff being completely electronic, and there'll be someone else will be able to lock your house down without you getting out. A lot of stuff like that is coming, right? So that's all coming. And most people know that that's coming. That's not anything fancy or woo-woo. Most people know that. What most people don't know is the other things that are out there. And I mentioned this today about the human trafficking and the fact that the human trafficking isn't just about sex. It's really about organs. And a lot of people with money are getting humans so that they can get things, their bone marrow, different organs, so that they can extend their lives. That's what's happening. The other part, why are they making it to where you can have these robotic attack dogs? The police will have those soon. And you know what happens when there's a malfunction in a robotic attack dog? It was an error in the system. Which means they could shirk the blame, like shirk the responsibility, say, really, we didn't do it on purpose. It was an error in the system. Tea time. So, all this stuff was on my heart to say to you guys, protect yourselves, protect your families, and try to stay covered. And I mean spiritually covered. And some people would think I'm saying, oh, you have to go believe a certain way. If you have a belief in the energy that floats in the universe and understand that there's energy when destruction comes, there are people who are protected from the destruction. Maybe you need to tap into that. Because throughout civilizations, Rome and all these civilizations, when those civilizations fell, some people survived. You want to be one of the survivors. So you might want to do what it takes to be one of the survivors. Now, I made a video earlier, a few weeks ago, saying that there are going to be some people who are going to go through 7 years of wealth. And then it's going to reverse, and there'll be 7 years of poverty. The reverse is also true. There are some people who are going to go through 7 years of poverty and have the chance to have the 7 years of wealth. But some people aren't going to make it out of that 14-year cycle. They won't be here, so they won't see that other side. They'll just experience the poverty side of it instead of the wealth. Now, you could shift your energy to enjoy the wealth side. Remember that shifting energies is a cycle, it's a boomerang. And this is why when I work with people and they want these things, they want them, and then when they get them, and they have them for a time, some people think that it's going to be forever. So they don't prepare, they don't save the money, they waste the money, they squander it, they do all kinds of things, and then they come back later on and they're like, oh, I need this again. You didn't take advantage of it, so you got to suffer the consequences. Or they get the job and then they're not happy with that job. They want a different job because what? You got a job. Or they get the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the sister, the whatever, and then they don't take care of it. Their health improves, they don't take care of it. They recover from this, they don't appreciate it. When you shift energies, you have to walk in an attitude of gratitude, appreciate everything that you get, and take care of it. So if you come to me and I detect that you're not going to, one, I'm going to charge you more money for wasting my time. And two, I'm going to tell you about it. And then it's up to you to write it down. As I tell everyone, write it down. So then when you come back to me years later, I'm not going to remember what I told you because I don't. I have to talk to too many people to remember everything. But you will have it written down and you will be able to say that I was right. And I will say thank you for telling me because I like to hear that I'm right. Even when it's about something that's not so good, it just confirms for you that what I do, what I say, is correct. And I make these videos so somewhere, somebody can go back and say, oh, you did say that. All right. Tea time's over. Bye.